Handsome Hawk. He's in a great series right now called The Lowdown.
Yeah.
It's called The Lowdown. He was also in a pretty well-received horror film called Black Phone, which I believe you guys saw at CinemaCon.
We saw it at CinemaCon. I loved Black Phone. I thought it was great.
Black Phone 2 is dropping, and we've got our where's my lower third? First off, we've got reviews in.
The reviews are in.
Black Phone 2. So why don't we go through some of these reviews and we'll see what we think about this stuff, Rob.
All right. It looks the trailers for this movie have been great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited. It looks like it's different than the first film. They're not just treading familiar territory, and it looks like it's far more terrifying and surreal. We're at 81% of the tomato meter. 43 reviews are in.
Let's take a look
at what we've got.
I'll scroll over so we can read them.
Blu-ray.com, Brian Orndorff comes out and, harshes my mellow and says, Black Phone 2 sticks with dream logic and cheap frights. And the offering takes its time to get where it's going, aiming for a more emotional, family-oriented scare zone in a decidedly ho-hum movie. Why you got to harsh my mellow? Anyway, let's go down and look at what Dan Bayer says. Next best picture. It's easy to wish Black Phone 2 came together better, but you can't deny that all the film's individual elements are quite strong. It will chill you to the bone, mostly because it takes place during the winter. Mm-hmm. But it won't haunt you for too long afterwards.
Interesting. So far mixed.
Yeah, they're mixed. Neil Pond from Neil's Entertainment Picks says the original Black Phone was a big box office success, but maybe it was best just to let it rest in peace rather than bring it back with a story that feels like a strained hodgepodge of horror show cliches and stereotypes. First of all, as a lifelong horror fan, most horror films rely on horror tropes. And if they're presented well, we love them anyway. Just saying.
Yeah, isn't that kind of the point of a lot of horror films?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're not trying to make, the Oppenheimer of Black Phone movies. It's Black Phone 2. Anyway, so then we got Ollie Richards from Time Out, who's a top critic coming to us from the UK. There's still plenty here to make you shiver, but in letting events out of the basement, this sequel has also released much of the tension. Well, I don't know. I think seeing Handsome Hawk skating with that mask on is terrifying. Simon Thompson from The Playlist says, it's this film's ability to embrace different styles and influences that truly excels and delivers. My man. It plays with tropes as much as it plays with the audience's expectations. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of review I want to read. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to not give you the same thing.
We got a couple losses here.
Couple of losses. Kristen Lopez from The Film Maven says, an homage to the Nightmare on Elm Street series, so blatant as to be an outright ripoff. Black Phone 2. Now, wait a minute, little sister. I would like to hold up right there. It's not a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street when you're coming off of a film called Black Phone. It might have certain influences I can say, but Nightmare on Elm Street borrowed things from a lot of other movies too, as does most of the horror genre. Black Phone 2 takes elements that should work, but ends up losing the beat with a sluggish story and a wafer-thin premise. I don't think that's true. But anyway, I haven't seen...
Nice Monty Python.
You like that? You like that?
Waffle thin.
Matt Singer from Screen Crush, who's a top critic, says there's something appealing about the way Black Phone 2 finds comfort as well as terror in the analog, but I must admit this particular film did not grab me.
Feels like we'll go through a couple more, but so far it's feeling like it's so close, but just misses.
Chris Joyce from Movies and Munchies says, while this isn't the scariest film of the year, it provides freaky chills with some touching depth, using familiar and relatable themes to deliver its horror. Okay, that sounds good to me. Travis Hobson from Punch Drunk Critics says, not only is the sequel just as terrifying as the original, the grabber leaves an even greater impression despite having much less screen time. Well, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Look, you know what? Horror films have always been very divisive when it comes. There's a lot of people that, for instance, Eureka out of the UK just sent me my 4K disc of Martyrs. And Martyrs is a family film that really everybody should see. Or it's a movie that'll make you go screaming into the loony bin. It just depends where you're coming from. So I think this movie looks like it's a lot of fun. The early screenings went over pretty well. But we'll see. Horror is definitely an acquired taste.
I mean, I will say, though, this does feel like a tonal shift from Black Phone 1, which was really more of a serial killer style, like kind of thriller, really, more than just horror. And now this is going into like the tropes of horror. We kind of saw the inverse of this with like Megan, and then Megan 2.0 kind of made it more like a horror comedy
and an action film.
So I wonder if people are not going to turn out for this. I just want to look at Black Phone's box office because I can't remember.
I don't know. I think folks are primed for Black Phone. We are in the Halloween season. People want to be spooked. We're coming off of a lot of great theatrical horror numbers.
Yeah.
It
seems to be this year's the era of horror. I mean, Black Phone 2 opened to 23 million and it made worldwide 161. So it's not like it was a huge blockbuster to begin with.
But it didn't cost a lot.
Right. This seems like there's more effects and the budget's upped. So I'm curious about how this is going to land.
Okay, here's a question.
Ultimately.
Is the weekend box office going to exceed the first Black Phone?
You know what? I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes because I think there's a lot of Black Phone heads out there. I think there's people that don't want to get busy signals. They want to be out there seeing this movie opening weekend. well,
look, at best I think it matches it, or we're going to be having a topic later this next week or so when this releases in I don't remember when it
I know I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it with as a double feature with the new Luca Guadagnino movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be an interesting double feature. Okay, so October 17th. So it is this weekend. I mean, also, reviews dropped 2 days before release. So this weekend, on Monday, we'll be talking about this. I say it's at best going to match the 23 million. You say it's going to exceed the 23 million.
I do. After the hunt, it's Black Phone 2.
Who's correct?
We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mando. All right, guys, listen, fall's here, football season, yard work, those long work days, and yeah, that means sweat. But here's the thing, staying fresh doesn't have to be a battle. You guys know I've been using Mando, that's Mando, and this stuff actually works. Now, I've been telling you guys about Mando for a while now, and when I first started using it, I wasn't sure what to expect, but Mando totally surprised me. It's not just a nice scent, it stops odor before it starts. And the sweat control, on point. I can go through a full show day, go hit the gym, and I'll still be dry. And I love that it pulls double duty with one stick that handles both odor and sweat. No reapplying, no nonsense. And it's long-lasting, lasting up to 72 hours. So here's the deal. Mando's got a starter pack that's perfect if you're new. You get their solid stick, the cream tube, 2 free extras like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And right now, you can get 20% off site-wide when you use my code Campea at shopmando.com. Again, that's shopmando, shopmando.com, code Campea for 20% off plus free shipping. So do yourself a favor and stay fresh this fall. Control body odor anywhere with Mando. It's not magic, it's science.
Well, anyways, guys, are you guys seeing Black Phone 2? Are you excited for this? Does this look like a silly guy on ice skates, or does this look terrifying to you? You tell us. Let us know. We want to know. Hear from you guys. Are you going to see it this weekend, or maybe second weekend out? What are you going to do?
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.